Today I'm going to be doing the work of Byron Katie. It's a technique called inquiry where you identify a stressful belief you have, you write it down, and then you question it. You use a series of questions and you begin to see that the belief may not be as true as you thought. So I'm going to go through a belief and do the questions today. So the question that came up, or the belief that came up for me is, I think like a lot of people, I spend a lot of time, on my phone, and I feel like I'm really distracted by it. So I feel like I'm addicted to things like YouTube, and I'm wasting my life on it. So I watch too many videos, end up, wasting half an hour here and there just on my phone. And so whenever I do that, I feel really guilty. And I kind of have this belief that I'm kind of wasting my life. So the belief that I wrote down is I'm addicted to YouTube and I'm wasting my life on it. So the first question that you ask, and I'm kind of like thinking of a situation where I felt this, and even this morning, I was just like happened to pick up my phone and started watching videos idly, and I was having my morning tea, and I just kind of felt that way. And it's good to anchor in a specific situation. So the first question is it true? Is it true that I'm addicted to YouTube and I'm wasting my life? The first reaction I get to that is yes. Because I do see myself using it a lot, and it is definitely something I want to cut back on. But then the next question, if your answer to the first question is it true, is yes, then you ask yourself a follow-up question: can you be absolutely sure that it's true? In this case, can I be absolutely sure that I am addicted to YouTube and I'm wasting my life on it? No. And why? Like, what appears to me that no is just like, is it really YouTube that I'm addicted to? I kind of imagine myself, and is it wasting my life? And I can kind of see myself like, hey, I'm not really, I don't know if YouTube itself is the problem. And it's like, I think what I'm more addicted to might be getting away from like problematic feelings or thinking or emotions, and I use YouTube or whatever distraction as a way to get my mind off of it. So it's not even that like I'm addicted to YouTube or whatever distracting thing. It's more that I'm not dealing with these painful, stressful thoughts or emotions. And so in that sense, I guess it's also not wasting my life, because it's kind of pointing out situations where I still have these unquestioned beliefs that I need to work on, where I go to watch YouTube, and instead of watching YouTube, I might want to start questioning them. So the third question is, how do you react when you believe the thought that I'm addicted to YouTube and I'm wasting my life? I say I feel like really guilty. I really beat myself up. I attack myself. I definitely, I feel like I'm at war too. I feel like I'm at war with myself, because I'm like, oh, you're an addict, you're worthless. And I'm at war with YouTube, like, I hate this thing, like I waste so much time on it. That's not a pleasant feeling, to be at war. And I kind of just feel like I'm at war with myself. I'm at war with this really powerful app, YouTube, that is designed to hook you in and get you to watch stuff. When the war isn't with myself or with this, with YouTube, it's more with my thinking, and like my unquestioned beliefs is really where I should be focusing, and not dealing with these kind of like side effects. So I feel like and also kind of how do I react to is like, I go to YouTube to avoid feeling difficult emotions, but then just by watching YouTube, I feel guilty about what I'm doing, and I judge myself, and those are difficult emotions, and it's like a cycle. I just go back, oh, okay, I have a difficult emotion, go watch YouTube. That creates more difficult emotions, want to watch YouTube again. So it's like this endless cycle. So the fourth question is, who would you be without the belief? I'm addicted to YouTube and wasting my life. There's first thing that comes up to me is like, I wouldn't be at war. I would be at peace with myself. I wouldn't be fighting this really, like, this outside thing, like an app that's outside of my control. I wouldn't be judging myself, attacking myself, being really negative about what I've done and who I am. I could appreciate the difficult situation I'm in and start being open to questioning these beliefs rather than looking to distractions. Like, if I didn't have the belief that, oh, I'm addicted to YouTube, it's really a distraction from what is, like, I think there'll be some interesting turnarounds here. So the fourth part is, after you've done the fourth question, you do something called the turnaround, where you look for kind of like opposite statements and see that they could be equally true or as true as the first belief you had. So my belief was, hey, I'm addicted to YouTube and I need to stop wasting my life. The first turnaround is, I'm not addicted to YouTube and I'm not wasting my life. Is it true? It's like, also kind of, when I think of, like, even the idea that I'm addicted to something, it's just a belief, it's a story I tell myself, and it's not there. Like, when I actually put myself in the moment, like, there's no addiction, there's no wasting anything. There's just the moment. Everything's here, everything's happening. There's nothing to waste or to tell this story about being an addict to something. It's just a story. It's something I'm putting a layer on top of reality. But in reality, there's nothing wasted. There's no addiction. There's no past. There's no future. And that's another thing that pops up to me when I have this belief, is like, oh, I see myself kind of just being stuck, like, always in the future. It's always going to be this way. I'm always going to be addicted to wasting time on this thing. That's really, really interesting. Another turnaround I see is, like, I'm addicted to my thinking and wasting my life on my thinking. So in this case, it's not YouTube that I'm addicted to. It's these negative thoughts and these stories I tell myself, and they're so powerful that I use YouTube to get away from them, and they make, they cause all these negative effects. But really, it's not the thing I'm using to distract myself. It's the thinking that I'm addicted to. I'm addicted to having these thoughts about myself being an addict, or myself wasting my life, or being negative and judging myself. And that is more the problem than what I use to distract myself from those things. Great. So that was inquiry on a problematic belief I had. I hope it was helpful. Thanks for joining along.